So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to add images in Google Sheets. One is using the image formula. The second is how to insert images directly into cells. And the third way is inserting images over the cells. So let's jump right in. So the first one is using the formula equals image. And so let's go ahead and do that in this cell. And then what we need is a URL or a link to an image. And so I'm going to put that inside double quotes and then put in a URL there. So there's some options that we can set, or we can just close this out and use the default. So one thing that Google added recently is just the security notice because it's referencing an external file. And so they just want to make you aware if people are doing nefarious things. So when you're ready to do this, go ahead and click Allow Access either from here or above on the orange bar. And then once you do that, then it will display. So the first thing you can see is that this image is very small. So we're going to go through modes here in a moment, but I'm going to show you real quick. The quickest way to adjust this is simply to resize that row. And so you can do that by clicking and dragging, or you can right click here and do resize. And you can even set manually the pixel height for that. And then you can also do things like center, or you can do top or bottom or center align as well if the aspect ratio is going the other way. And so we can make this even bigger, just like that, and show, for example, the whole image. And so here we can see now we've gone the other way. And so at this point, it is center aligned, or we can do top or bottom. So you can determine how you want that to be aligned within that cell. And then next, let's look at these modes real quick. And so I have a quick description. So 1 resizes the image to fit inside the cell, and that is the default. 2 stretches or compresses the image to fit inside the cell, ignoring aspect ratio. And so let's take a look at this. So in this formula, we're going to do comma and then specify mode. So default is 1. Let's try 2. And so you can see 2, it stretches or compresses the image. And so this is stretched widthwise. And if we go really tall, so let me do this real quick. Now we're stretching the other way. So let's go ahead and resize this to 100 real quick. And then we can go to 3, which is leave the image at its original size, which may cause cropping. And so you can see there, that one is pretty similar. And it's just showing whatever will fill up and show up inside there. And then finally, we can go to 4. And currently it's giving us an error because we specify 4 custom size. We need to set the height and the width. And so at this point, then a comma again. And I can say, oh, let's say the height is 100 and the width is 75, something like that. Obviously, that is very funky. So let's go ahead and do 150, maybe something like that. And you can see now it's setting that custom size, just like that. So let's go ahead and just reset this to the default or 1. And either one is going to be the same. So now let's move to our next one, inserting an image. And so the way you do this is from the insert menu. And then under image, we have our 2 options. And so these are the last 2 options we're going to do. One is inserting an image inside a cell, and the other is inserting an image over cells. And so let's go ahead and start with inserting an image in a cell. So this gives you different options you can upload from your computer. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can just select an image. And occasionally you will have an error there. And if you experience an error, some of it may be an incorrect file type. Another thing is if the file is too big. And so you may have to resize it, maybe have to compress the image if it won't upload. And so that's just something to be aware of. Now, one thing you'll note is when you insert it directly into the cell, you can't do anything with the resizing. You may want to crop that or edit that on your computer before you upload it. Now, one thing to note is you can now actually copy and paste this. And so I can paste it here, just like that. I can go to another tab and paste it wherever I want. So I'm just doing this paste function here. Now, one thing to note is that you can't go to a new spreadsheet and paste it. So if we do sheets new and call this new sheet, I can't paste it here. So I'm trying to paste it, and you can actually see it's pasting some of it. It's pasting that formatting, that little bit of border. But if I want to copy and paste this to a new spreadsheet or a different spreadsheet, I'm actually gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to copy the tab that the image is on. And so the way you do that is copy to, and either new, existing, depending upon which one you want to do. So you could copy it to a new spreadsheet or existing, and then pick that one. So we could say new sheet and pick it there, insert. And then if we go to here, we can see copy of insert image, and there is our image. And now we can copy and paste this elsewhere. So that's how you can copy and paste an image from one spreadsheet to another. All right. And so you can keep inserting more images as you go, and you can upload them again from here. And let's take a quick look at the other sources. So you can use a webcam here. You can do a link. And so this is similar, but this link is going to then grab that image and put it in your spreadsheet. You can do photos if you have photos in your Google Photos. You can also do from your Google Drive. And you can also just search directly in Google Images. And so if you're looking for a landscape wallpaper, for example, you can search for that, click an image and then insert it just like that. All right, and so finally, let's look at just inserting over the cells. And so insert image over cells, and you have all the same sources there as we had before. Let's go ahead and just pick one from here. And this one had an error. And so I think this one's the file size. Let's pick a different one. See if we have an error there. And there we go. So there is our image. And so again, if you have that error, most likely either the file size is too big or you may need to reset the format. So an image like this, again, you can copy and paste and drag it around. One thing to note is if you have position specific, like you want these images to be in a very specific place on your Google Sheet, the better option is to put it inside a cell and maybe do the merging and options like that to get it to where you want it to be. Because if you have it free floating like this, it can shift from time to time, especially when you're doing stuff like grouping or hiding and resizing and stuff like that. Sometimes these images will end up moving around. That is a way you can do that there. You can replace the image from here, delete it. You can even assign a script to it. You can reset the size here. Add some alt text, or you can take this image, and if you select a cell, you can take this image and put image in selected cell. Now, if you've put an image in a cell, you can actually get it back out. If you right click on this cell, go down to image, and then we can do put image over cells, and that will pull that image back out of that cell. That's just a quick note of, I believe this was a recent change in Google Sheets. So now you can pull the image back out of that cell. And so there we go. We can move this image around, put it as we would like, and move forward in that way. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to check out our other videos for more tutorials on both Google Sheets and AppScript. And as always, have a great day.